Intro today, homeboys. Today, I'm going to talk about something very basic that, well, 90% of champs and lower, actually, I should say GC1s and lower, can't do properly and don't do properly. And it's sad because they'd score a lot more goals if they could just figure that shit out. What I'm talking about is flicks. Simple flicks. How many times have you been in a game, stuck in goal, and have a guy dribbling the ball towards you? And be like, fuck, I'm fucked, I'm fucked. And then they do something stupid like that, or they get the ball, and you're like, it's just a 1v1, and then they do this shit, and they throw the ball to you from downfield, or anything like that. How often does that happen? Or they go in, and they get like a mistouch like that, then go for a demo, because they fucked up their flick. It's like, how many times do you have to go through that? Or they do this shit, and then they try to get a demo or some shit. So what I want to talk to about is flicks. One of the very basic mechanics, and I mean, champs are known for always using flicks to get over their opponents. However, most champ flicks, even the better flicks, just as this, or this, or something like that. And then the ones that actually know flicks a little bit will give you a flick like that that just barely goes over you. Or they'll give you the little pop over or something like that. While that's fine when you're playing against other shitty champs that don't know flicks, when you're playing up against anybody that's next level, that's like champ 3-ish, things like that, unfortunately, that's not going to work anymore. You have to define your flicks. When you're going and you're doing flicks and you're going down the field and all of that, one, if you're going to flick straight, the ball has to be straight onto your car. If you're flicking to the left, you got to be to the right of the ball. If you're flicking to the right, you got to be to the left of the ball. But what's most important is, when you're going for flicks, you don't want to be doing this. You see all the fucking ball movement and adjustment I'm doing, and all of these, well, basically the sparks and shit that are coming out of my car. I'm taking this from another streamer, the sparks idea, because I generally just say make as less adjustments as possible. As you're going down the field, you shouldn't be having all of this. I don't remember who it is, so sorry I can't give credit, but sparks is what he calls it. I just say you should have better ball control. I always say ball control. But if you're going down the field and you're getting all of these sparks, which is, the ball making contact with your car and not staying basically glued on, you're not going to get a very good flick when it comes to it. Hello. Ushi? Is that how you pronounce it? But something simple like that, when you're going down the field and making sparks and all of that, when you go to make a flick, it's not going to work because you are literally not in control of the ball. The ball is bouncing off of your car as you're trying to flick, which is going to mess up your flicks most times. When you have the ball, you want to make as less adjustments as possible, and you want to push through and not be tapping on gas and doing all kinds of things like that. I am a GC, sir. But right now I am doing a champ series because champ is one of the actually it is the hardest rank to get through. You gotta love champ. Glory to the champ. But anyway, as you are dribbling the ball, as you're going down the field, if you're doing this, to where the ball is bouncing away from your car, and you're not getting control. And this is your, you know, epitome of dribbling. You're actually not anywhere in control of the ball, and that's when somebody challenges you when you're doing this. They end up hitting the ball away from you and getting it beyond you and scoring on your net, and you're like, how did he do that? It's because you're not in control of the ball completely. When you go to dribble, you want to make as much or as less touches to the gas as possible. So, as much as it feels more like you're in control, touching break and going around with the ball and doing things like this, you know, and making minute adjustments and touching break and all of that, you don't want to be doing this. This is not a good dribble, even though I can keep the ball up on my car perpetually forever. And if you're at this level of dribbling, then, you know, you got a little bit more to go. Like, this looks clean, but it's not clean. Now this is clean. You see where there's little to no, what did I say, sparks? Like that when you're pushing it through. And there's little to no sparks at all. That's when you get your basis of your flick. You don't want to be flicking when sparks are coming out and doing that. You want to be flicking when the ball is... You can go ahead and ask your question. I'm reading and talking at the same time. Let's see. Could you tell me if this works? Could you try to do aerials without using acceleration? Try to just use boost, and I think it helps with ball control in the air, but I want to see if it helps out to get to where you are. Are you talking about the fact that you continue to move while you're holding drive? Or are you talking about just like air drags where you match the speed of the ball and then you just continuously move the ball? You don't have to hold boost. You're talking about just tapping the aerial? Like that? Because, I mean, when it comes to aerials, it's very basic if we're talking like air drags. If you're under the ball, you tap boost. If you're on the side of the ball, you hold boost. Don't use your drive button. I mean, go off the wall for an aerial with boost. I mean, I don't exactly understand what you're saying, but I can tell you that there are different styles of aerials depending on what you're going for. If you're going for a more controlled aerial, then you don't press anything at all and the ball will come close to you. If you use boost, the boost will go, or the ball will go farther. If you use nothing, it'll be perpetually right next to you. So there's 3 different launches. You got your fast launch to shoot the ball out. You got your launch to where when you get to the wall, you just hold drive to get it a little closer. And then you have your launch to where as the ball's going, you press nothing and your car will pop the ball up immediately in front of you. Your 3 different types of launches, if that helps. So if I want to go for an air drag or I want to go for a fancy play or something like that, not boosting at all and just letting my car go up there and hit it. It's also good for your musty flicks, you see. If you're going for a musty off the wall, you want to stop boosting, let the ball touch your car, boost, or not boost, air roll to the right, and then send it, go over, and then tap it in for the double touch. Keep the ball on your car going forward to the net. That's called an air drag. That is an air drag. Air drags are, for the most part, not very useful in champ. They're too slow. So unless you are clear, like completely clear, and you're going for an air drag and all of that, and you can keep the ball on top of your car and high, most people use your arrow rights and all of that, you're not going to get much out of an air drag in Champ. Now, when it comes to GC, easy. When it comes to SSL, easy and useful. Champ-wise, as soon as you try to take that ball up the wall, somebody's going to be boosting towards you and immediately challenging. You ain't got that kind of time. Unless you do the old-fashioned air drag where you jump early to match the speed of the ball, and then you can take the ball across into the other corner. I mean, if you're in Diamond, you should be... Air drag's not what you should be working on in Diamond, friend. That's like Champs doing the flippery set thing. That's not the rank where you want to be trying to master flippery sets and things like that. Yeah, air dribbles and all of that's good for Diamond because it'll bypass a lot of the yuckiness of the Diamond 3 Purgatory and all of that. But I mean, it's like, instead of going up in there and, you know, trying to make touches and do things like that and, you know, be all crazy and whatnot, again, if you just focus on your ground game, getting around diamonds and then passing it to a teammate that's there to take a shot, you know, things are a lot better. Because I'm sorry to tell you, brother, which you probably already know this because you're in Diamond, if you try to make a long play or a dribble or something, your teammate's going to come in and be like, oh, free ball. Every time. If you go for an air dribble, you're going to have a teammate that's there jumping and like, oh, I'm going to score this for him, even though you're actively air dribbling. It happens in Diamond, it happens in Champ, it happens in all of that. So I'm like, air dribbles ain't going to be very useful to you. Not in Diamond. But I mean, I have an entire series on my channel on what you need to do to, you know, the things you should be brushing up on to get through Diamond. But I mean, at the end of the day, you do you. They are for me. I don't know why that, but that's how I am getting close to the champ. That's the problem, though. You're relying on just one typical mechanic that you know Diamond can't defend against to get through Diamond. You're not grinding through Diamond, increasing your skills and getting there naturally. To put it in a better example, let's say there's a fighting game. While everybody else is learning the moves of the fighting game and all of the combos and all of that, you're just doing the sweep kick to get through that particular rank. When you get to the next rank, you're going to get completely and totally shit on until you start adapting and learning, you know, all the things that you should have learned back in Diamond. Your teammates are going to get frustrated at you because you're going to be trying to go for air dribbles and air drags and all of that, and they're not going to work. You're lucky if you get one free air drag goal, but after that, you know, champs are like, okay, this guy can aerial. I'm going to cut that shit off now. I'm never going to let him get ball control like that again. And then anytime you go towards a wall to try to take it across, they're going to be there for you. I'm sorry, brother. That's... air drags and all of that's not going to help you that much. It's good to practice them because it's ball control in the air. So I mean, doing air drags and all of that will help you, for example, when you're jumping and flying for the ball. Don't jump and fly for the ball like that. But you know, if you have to jump and go for the ball, the air drags and all of that will give you the ability to read the ball better and aerial better. But that's not something you should be looking for in ranked. Not at a Diamond. It's not gonna help you. I don't have any accounts anymore. I don't think that's in Diamond. Is this account in Diamond? Nah, it's in Champ 1. I don't have any accounts in Diamond, so I can't actually do that, but I do have a series on what you need to look for. One thing that diamonds don't do properly is take the time that they have just to aim and shoot the particular ball. They don't. You'll have a diamond with an open net like this, and they'll do some dumb shit like that instead of just taking their time. Or they'll pre-jump all the way across map. For you, I'm thinking that this air drag and all of this is a blackout moment for you. And you've learned a mechanic to fill out the blackout moments. So when the ball goes to the wall and all of that, you don't really know what you can do with the particular ball, especially if somebody's near you. And you end up, you know, if the ball's ahead of you and you're too fast or something like that, that's probably one of your blackout moments for diamond. You should learn other mechanics and other things. And honestly, half the time when you're going towards the wall and somebody's cutting you off, you don't need to even continue towards wall. The wall's a good bait. No, you don't. Don't lie to me. If you're diamond, no, you don't. You're not consistent at all at that shit. Don't lie to me. No, you don't. Like a champ saying that they're consistent in flip resets. I guarantee you, you're not doing any of that. No, you don't. I can bring you into a lobby right now and ask you to do every mechanic that you said that you can do. And I can guarantee you, you're not consistent as you think you are. You're just stunting your growth thinking that you can do all of that. So I can add you in right now if you want to. We can go to a private match and I can sit there and I can watch you. On stream, document it. See if you can do everything that you say you can do, if you are a legitimate diamond and not blowing smoke up my ass. I guarantee you, you're not. You can't. Go look at the Sunless Con videos or the Stripes videos of all the other plats and diamonds that say they can do all of that. Them being brought into a lobby and then falling on their asses. Go look at those videos. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of grief. Don't embarrass yourself saying you can do air drags, musty flicks, double taps and stuff. You're not consistent. I'm sorry, brother. You're not consistent. You won't be consistent in double touches until you're way higher GC, by the way. Because not even GC1s, and depending on where they are in their mechanics, GC2s aren't even consistent in double touches. They can go for them, and then they can hit, like, you know, 1 in every 3, maybe 1 in every 5, some are 1 in every 10. But they're not consistent as to where, you know, they can actually, you know, full well in knowledge, touch that ball into that net. Musty flicks. I don't even think I need to go any farther with musty flicks, especially musty flicks to double touches and shit like that. I'm not even consistent in the musty flicks to the double touches and all of that. Most I can do is go up the wall, touch it right here, and then put that shit into the goal. And that'd take me about 9 tries. What's up, dude? I don't know. Was talking to this Twitch TV guy, but he ain't responded back, so I don't know if he's still here or if he left. Hopefully he heeds my advice and stops saying that he's consistent in things, because I'm telling you, there's videos out there of people that are like, oh, I'm consistent in all of this shit. I know all of these mechanics and all of this and whatnot, and then you play them in a match, and this is their equivalent of a musty. They go like this, and then they jump out, and then they get some shit like that, and they're like, see, I can musty, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Or as I was talking yesterday's stream, they're like, I can flip a reset and shit like that. And this is the equivalent of their flip reset. They go up, they touch the ball, they come in, and then they do this. That's their flip reset. And I'm like, that's not a consistent flip reset, brother. All of that is slop. You got a mistouch on the ball, and then you went, you got a little touch in, and then boom. That's not consistency. I could do that 10 out of 10 times, but that's not consistent. That's not a real flip reset. You need to go and you need to practice more. Flicks. Most people, they do some shit like this, some shit like that, or they do the, I'm gonna drive up to you and do a basic flick like that, and they're like, my flicks are amazing. Maybe get something like that. Like, that's not a consistent flick. It's not gonna help you. I don't know. It just drives me crazy seeing actual people. I wanted that double touch. I didn't mean to put that in the fucking net. But it drives me just crazy when people are like, you know, I can air dribble. One touch. I can air dribble. And I'm like, huh. Or my favorite, I can double tap, and they touch the ball, and then they do this shit. I can double touch. See? I can double touch, and I'm like, that's not a double touch. You boosted back and you delayed your touch so much. That's not a double touch. I'll be the first one to admit that I'm not consistent in anything because I'm not spending 8 hours a day playing the game like I used to. I used to spend 8 hours a day playing this shit. Way back when. Now, I just get on to just have, you know, a hobby stream every once in a while. But either way, I'm gonna get back to talking about flicks like I was, to try and help some people out that think, you know, they're the shit and that they are consistent in flicks and all of that. I'm gonna start from the beginning because I don't remember where I was. When it comes to flicks, the first thing you need to master is ball control. Double flip or double reset for sub. I don't want your sub, and I am not a monkey that does things for payment. So you can shove that double flip resetting and that sub up your ass because you're not helping me at all. Oh, I get a follow. Oh, I get a sub. Useless to me. Absolutely positively useless. I get more off stocks than I will off of your shitty ass sub. Apparently I'm a fucking monkey now, and I just do fucking shit that I'm told. Jesus. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Starting from the beginning. Oh, I'm not mad, trust me, you'll know if I'm mad. One, you'll probably be instantly banned, or sit in timeout. And if you think I'm mad in any case, you must be Gen Z, and not able to take any type of harsh joke or cruel humor. And I'd hate to say it, if you're that type of sensitive person, then you probably don't want to watch my content, because I can be very cruel and all of that. At times. You know. Anyway, let me get back on topic. Distracting me, sons. Distracting me. As I was saying, let's try this again. Flick-wise. When it comes to, well, just basic dribbling into a flick, you don't want to be making a whole bunch of adjustments and all of that before you flick the ball. As you can see, sparks are coming out of my car. You don't want to be doing all of that. You don't even want to be doing things like this. Or when you go for a flick, you're going to be having an issue. As you can see. Hey, look, a distraction. This guy. But as you can see, you're not going to get good flicks or anything like that out of it. And when it comes to things like that, if you're moving the ball around a lot and you're getting these sparks coming out of your car, when you get 50'd like this and the other guy basically takes the ball even though your car is basically there and it looks like you're in front of the ball, but they come in and they 50 it past you and then they put it into your net real quick, That's why they're taking the ball from you, because the ball isn't on your actual hitbox and all of that. Those sparks and all of that, the ball's not, you know, touching it. This is good dribbling if you're going for just speed to get downfield real quick. You can do shit like that, you know, to try to be fast. However, when it comes to flicks, you don't want to be like that. You want to catch the ball, kind of match the speed of the ball, and you don't want to make a lot of minute adjustments. Now, a spark or two ain't gonna, you know, be that bad for you. Because, I mean, we're talking about this, where it's constantly sparking, versus, you know, like more of a straightforward push. Where, you know, you get a spark every once in a while. And depending on the car that you're using, you're gonna have more or less sparks. Flat cars, obviously, you have this long flat base on the top of your car. So you're not gonna have like a huge amount of sparks as like an octane. And when you go for those flicks, one of the most important things that people don't tell you about is hold jump on any type of advanced or special flick. If you're going for like a quick flick, you know, a little small flick over anything like that, you can just double touch jump. That's it. It'll put you right over it. You can even catch it. Very small, very low flick. But if you want to go for an advanced flick, you have to hold jump. See how much higher. I caught that inappropriately. Ignore that. But look how much higher your flicks will go if you hold jump. Then positioning on your car is important. If you want to go for like, I don't know, let's say a musty flick or something like that, you want the ball to be on the front of your car. So you want your tires to be about halfway in like that, and you don't want any sparks on your particular car. But if you're going for like, let's say a 360 flick, you want it to be in the middle of your car going straight with no sparks. That's one of the rare ones. And when you jump, you see how the ball is sticking kind of to my car? If not, and you have sparks coming out when you jump, the ball is going to go away from you. But if you hold the jump button with no sparks, the ball kind of sticks to your car and all of that. I know I'm not going straight because I ran out of track. I wish there was like an infinite map with infinite space and all of that. Just pop it on your car, dude. So if you jump and hold boost, you can tell if you have a good jump or not. Where the ball goes. Like that, that's perfect. Versus, if you tap it, how the ball just kind of flops out or goes away from you. And that's what most people need to know, is just hold the jump button and your car will go up to where the ball is, as opposed to tapping it or doing when you have sparks coming out of your car and then missing the flick completely, because that's what happens. This is what you'll see in a regular match. Somebody will be dribbling towards you, you'll be sitting in goal. They'll dribble the ball towards you and then they'll double touch with sparks coming out of their car. And you'll get something like that, and that'll be their flick. It's because the sparks, they were moving their car too much and the ball wasn't settled on their car. So when they went for the flick, it didn't work for them. Whereas if they would have just kept on, held boost, Jesus Christ, held jump, and then flicked the ball, you easily get those high flick passes and things like that. The reason I'm starting there, and I know a lot of people are like, I know how to flick the ball, dude. The thing is, a lot of you don't. Go in, give me a 45 degree, 90 degree flick, and a 180 flick. Right now. Give me a back flick. Give me a jazer flick. Give me all of the flicks. Give me a delayed 45 degree flick. Give me all of the flicks in the world. Any flick. Give me a breezy flick. Give me them. You think you're consistent in everything, give me them. And if you fuck up your flick, you should be able to recover into another either dribble and or flick right off the bat. If you can't do that, then you're not consistent in flicking, And again, if you can't hold the ball on top of your car for 30 seconds without boosting, you're not consistent in dribbling. You can't hold the ball on top of your car while using boost for 30 seconds. You're not consistent in dribbling. You can't go along the boost pad lines and all of that. You're not consistent. Now, I've been playing this game for a long time, and I'm still not nowhere near as consistent as I could be with dribbling. I've seen some people that dribble me under a fucking bridge and whatnot, but I mean, I'm decent enough to where I'm able to rank in where I need to be. Speed-wise, how many of you hold power slide when you're going down the field? Guarantee you, none of you do. You guys go, you boost, you flip, you land, and then you continue to go. And this is you, holding boost and drive going down the field. Some of you like to do the old front flippers, but I guarantee you, none of you hold power slide as you're going to get that extra speed and keep that beautiful angle. Whoop, I scraped my car. If you hold power slide when you're actually flipping and all of that, mind the miss flips, because I mean my controller's garbage, you're going to be going faster than doing this. And notice, as I'm flipping, what happens to my car without power slide. 1, 2, 3. Versus with power slide. Kind of flipped high there, but you get the point. That was a speed flip. I didn't mean to do the speed flip. I just went a cross flip. There we go. You're going up walls and shit. How many of you go up a wall by flipping to it, holding boost, going up, wasting more boost to try to make a play or a dribble, and then take it in? How many of you have wasted so much speed going towards walls by not holding power slide? Boom, power slide. I'm there, around, supersonic, and able to do whatever I want. Versus without power slide. Now this is important, because if you have a limited boost, holding power slide means you have to use less boost. And as you go downfield, holding power slide and whatnot will let you get basically the speed of a pro. You ever wondered how pros get so fast in what they're doing? How they're able to get downfield and all of that? Real quick, power slide. That's the key to your speed. Power slide and knowing your flips. Like that is a lot faster than me doing the same circuit I just did. Just holding it. Look how much slower this shit is. So much slower. Like, and if you're ever in a game and you're like, damn, this guy's faster than I am and all of that shit, he's probably just flipping properly and holding power slide. That's it. Super speed. And then this is without power slide. It's that simple. It's really that simple. And incorporating power slide into your play will increase your speed, guaranteed. However, you're going to have to learn how to play with power slide. So a lot of people can't read power slide, and they'll end up sliding out on walls because they'll try to turn into it, and they'll do this shit. And you don't really want that to happen. You want to kind of keep it, you know, smooth as you're coming down to continue your pathway in. As you can see, with power slide, I rotated immediately back to goal. It only took a couple of seconds. Now I'm going to do the same thing without it. Jump up, rotate down, and then try to get back without power slide. It's so much slower. So much slower. I'm going to get into some matches. Now when I play on stream, I don't power slide, I don't boost jump, I don't do any of that. Because we're in champ, and champs don't do that shit. When we get up to like the GC1 and all of that, and I need the excess speed, then I'll start doing things like that. But until then, we're still in champ, so I'm playing like a champ. Well, a little bit smarter than a champ, but, you know, I'm playing like a champ. Doink. So we're doing the shitty dribbles and all of that. We're not going for, you know, something as simple as just catching the ball. You don't understand how better it is to, you know, people that do this shit to try and catch the ball and then flick the ball versus somebody who comes in with speed and just shoots the ball instead. The differences in speeds are crazy. Or the same scenario, but you're coming from like a half slide, holy shit. A wave dash to a shot, as opposed to just starting up and boosting. Or getting close and then boost jumping into the ball for a power shot, you know? Or something like that. Obviously there's going to be a flip too, but, you know. That's funny. Oh, we're getting scored on. Oh, good save. I didn't even see him there. I'm gonna let him do his thing. He's kind of juiced right now. That guy just backflipped. I don't even know what happened to that man's. Fake that. That's open for a teammate. And there we go. That's all we gotta do. We ain't gotta do anything there but be a nuisance. I came in. He thought I was gonna challenge him there, so he hit the ball over me. My teammate gets a free touch. I ain't gotta do shit. Now, if I wanted to score it on my own, I would just stop. And do what I like to call the GC fake, where they just stop their car and wait for you to throw the ball away. I'm gonna hit this crossed. That works too. Fake this. They're double committing. And now we have a breakaway play. Teammate didn't clear it properly, but that should have been another goal for us. I'm gonna posture him. Pop this over this guy because he's hesitating. This should be a pass back to me. This should be a pass back to me. This should have been a pass back to me, and that should have been in their net. And that's the weird thing about, you know, champ and all of that, is that they don't think about these things, and they give you the open nets so many times. Good pass, by the way. And they're done. Or at least one of them's done. They don't defend their net. They don't think about just basic things like that. I'm not using any enhanced speed techniques. I'm not using anything except for my brain to get these goals. Look, I'm not even boost jumping. So I didn't even get to that fast. I didn't go for the obvious double touch setup I had there. None of that. That's fun. He's going to try to challenge that. Good bump, because I was about to blast him. And our teammate did nothing to try and help that. I got bumped as I was going to challenge. That's a shame. Teammate should have never left goal in that situation. He should have just stayed where he was. As soon as it bounced out, he had a free shot downfield into their net. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is most people think Rocket League is based off of speed. You don't need speed if you have good positioning, good shot making, you know, good fundamentals. You can be slow as a box of fucking rocks and still, you know, be a contribution to your team. I'm gonna see if I can get there first. I'll put this to the side. He did exactly what I hoped he'd do. 3 touches. I'm not gonna go up even though I should. So I'm just interested on what these teammates are gonna do. You should stay up there with your damn teammate. Why are you both coming back? What the hell? Why did you both come back? You give them a full field of control by not challenging them. Oh, what an angle. Granted, oh, that's an own goal. Granted, I could have just boost jumped that man and had his net, but like I said, I'm not going to boost jump. I'm not going to do any of that. Hello, Dooms. Here, we fake back to our net, and then we wait. From there, does not matter. Interesting way to clear that teammate. But that's fun. This goes down. That's a decent touch. Teammate tried to follow. Another teammate put it back. You see what he's doing right now? How he's running? He could have turned around and scored that. Now he's going all the way back up after going to half field, or midfield. That's dumb. Stay up. I'm back. I'm watching net. Stay up. Teammates should be using other teammates that are there. Thank you. Free clear. Free shot. Don't pass it. Should have just taken it. That's fine. I'm going to stall this a little bit, just to give them time to get back. I know how slow champs are getting back to net. Again, if you're both on the wall in the corner, who's supposed to score that? Come on, man. Come on, man. Two people. Challenging same corner. Who scores that? Why does this guy keep leaving early and giving them all of that field of control? I don't understand this man's. Keep them pressured. Keep them making mistakes. That's a weird challenge. I'm gonna wait because it's probably coming back. Beat him. Passed it to teammate. Teammate's coming back instead of turning on that. Now he turns on it when it's very awkward for him. Alrighty then. It's kind of reversed. Good bump, but who am I passing to, brother? You're the man that's out there. Easy win there. Teammates in no man's land instead of positioned properly. That's a shame. That should have been a goal. It should have been the end of the game. Oh well, we continue on. I'm going to put this to my left, or right, sorry. Because I know my teammates are there. Don't challenge that. Fake that. He had time. He had time to control that for the end because they weren't pressuring that ball. Now keep in mind that we should have about 5 goals right now. Interesting. I'm gonna opposite post rotation this. Now that he's up, I'm gonna go cross, try to pick this up. Unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest pass. But that's fun. I'm gonna be a little nuisance here if I can. Try to slow this man down. Because right now, there's nothing I can do to help that teammate that's in goal, so there's no point in me in going back. But if I can stop one of their other defenders from doing anything, then, you know, it's a different story. Or defenders. Attackers from doing anything afterwards. I didn't think he was touching that. There we go. I want to go to the next match. As much as I would like to be in a perpetual overtime that lasts forever, I don't want to. We're going to go to the next match. What's my rank? I am a GC. Nothing more, nothing less. The only reason I say that's because I ain't played 2s in 30 days, so my rank got reset. So. Let's try it again. Hello there. That's a hell of a fucking fake. He destroyed the fuck out of my brain with that one. That fucking backflip just ruined my whole day. I don't have boost, but I'm still gonna pressure this. I'm just gonna fake it and try to challenge it low instead. Don't go for a high challenge if you don't have boost, because you're just putting yourself out there. Good pass. He clicked it a little bit, so I couldn't get power off of it, but that's fine. 2 of them are both in the corner. This is a nightmare scenario. If their guy hadn't went all the way back, they could have pressured the hell out of us and made a play on me. And there's not much I could do in that situation. Okay, I don't know how he won that 50, but I. Thank you for the free clear. He was expecting me to jump out for that, and I didn't, so it ended up hitting off my car. I thought he had that. Damn. Pop this foot over him, but that's fine too. Get off of me! No, I don't have boost. Your rule 1 has ruined me. It's probably in our net, by the way. Ah, that spawned. That's in. Could I save that? Yeah, but we're playing like a champ. That is the worst. He literally dimed that man up for that shot. Hey. He went for a straight-on kickoff with a front flip. You know I'm getting boost, or at least trying to get boost. Here, I could be fast and send that, but I'll trust my teammate. Scary thing to trust the champion player. It's fine, I grabbed the boost so he can't challenge again. He just put himself on our side for no reason. Y cross in front of goal. Not quite the boost to get that. If I had a power slid, I'd have had that though. That's a Ponzi pass of death. Watch what happens. Never mind, he missed. And I got bumped. What a play, brother. What a play. Easiest save of my life. Taken away by a panicking teammate. Easiest save of my life. All I had to do was just jump and boost. What are y'all doing? Don't say y'all. I was sitting there going, this guy! Jesus Christ, I tell you what, brother. Let me do us both a favor. And let's just forfeit this on out. We'll go to the next match. Because holy shit. Interesting. He ain't got any more touches. Well, maybe he does. That would have been an easy save, but I guess I'm glad he went. I'm gonna head back to goal now. This is getting very awkward. Oh my god, what is happening? What is actually happening? Nice shot. What? Somebody tell me what just happened there. My dude wasn't doing anything but sitting there, and my teammate got so panicky when he could see the guy in front of him. Holy shit. I don't think you can jump in FIFA. So I'm under the impression you can't jump in FIFA. I don't know. I've never played FIFA. That's in. Why go up the wall and then rotate back? Ow. I see. He jumped across and then went up. Yikes. Yikes. I mean, we know that guy's not reliable and not the best teammate, but yikes. Ah, boy. Damn. Scoop. Oh, boy. I believe it when they said that champ is the hardest rank to get through. I do believe it. I mean, it's documented and it's been shown through statistics and all of that, but Jesus. The ball was like here, and their teammate was all the way back here because he just grabbed boost. My teammate's over here doing this shit while the ball was right in front of him. I'm like, why? Why go through that much panic? He takes a straight-on shot, huh? Nice little flip reset. I think I accidentally bumped my teammate there. That might have been on me. I thought I was the back man. I was the back man. I indeed was the back man. So I don't take complete blame there, because my teammate should have never crossed the goal. He should have been here on this corner, and he should have stopped at that corner. So if I couldn't get the ball or whatever, look, brother, you already got one. You're not getting another one. I promise you. Get out of here with that. Okay. And then he followed it by pointing his car down and boosting downwards. That's fine. He'll just try to take it up. He'll hit it to the wall. Or he'll hit it back. Nice. It's even better. Why would you go for a demo? It was there. Just touch it again in. He's going to hit that past him. There's no point in me going up the challenge. And then he left them with all of that space, and they didn't even use the space. I don't understand the champion mindset. Should have went for a low 50 there. That's a weird touch. I have a teammate behind me who apparently is putting it in our net. Okay. Interesting. Couldn't grab it how I wanted to. This shit's got me feeling all kinds of fucking awkward. Like, what is this? I mean, I know what it is. He's going for another flip reset because the first one worked for him. Okay. He hit it backwards. What a smart individual. I'm gonna fake this. Teammate has time to come up, and he didn't use the space that I provided him. That's fine, though. Fake this. I'm the back man. You just passed it for him, and it's in our net. I don't understand why this has to be so awkward for me. Pass that around him. Don't hit it out. For fuck's sake. Don't cross it. Stop it. All of you, stop. Stop what you're doing. Take a deep ass breath and fucking bring it back. He should not have faked back. I was already on my way backwards. Now you put yourself in an awkward situation. Stay up and challenge it. Let me go back and defend goal. Okay. Interesting way to clear that. Nope. Okay, maybe. Nah, bruh. I don't take blame for that. Again, that teammate needs to be more patient, and he needs to stop at the first corner that he comes to defend net. He shouldn't go all the way back to goal and then immediately boost back out. If you're going to go back and challenge earlier than later. Oh, okay. What in the actual fuck is happening? What is happening in this lobby? What is actually happening? Well, okay. Nope. Interesting. Damn, he was slow. How did I get to that ball before he did? That's crazy. You're gonna go for it, go for it. I'm gonna pinch it around him. I see this ending not too great. He went towards the wall instead of just dribbling it upfield. Wow. He had me beat hook, line, and beaters. I got time. Well, okay. A pass back would have been, you know, more appreciated there, but, you know, you do whatever you can do, and we'll try to fix it from there. When the other team's better teammates than yours are, maybe get a flip reset on this, or not. Alrighty then. Tell you what, let's just skip the drop shot, because, oh. I don't know what happened throughout that match. It is so fucking weird. And that's one of the things that I guess I need to wrap my brain around more. Is champions go all the way back to net, wasting the boost. This is the champion rotation. They go, say the ball's in the middle. They go boom, 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 toggle ball camera, and then use all that boost that they got to challenge. When I'm like, you already see the ball's there. Why not, for one, not do that shit, but just boom, 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 and then make a touch pass to whoever's challenging you, and then make a play, look for the pass, fake it if you have to get a better pass if they're in middle, let them, you know, do whatever it is, pass to you, make a shot, whatever, and, you know, use your teammate that's up to make a play. Or if you're up here, you don't need to jump up and take a shot over or take a shot on goal or anything like that. You know where your teammate is after the pop, and you see them, you can redirect your touch backwards towards them, and then they can take the shot on their net. You don't need to full send every ball. If you're a good air dribbler and all of that, you can air dribble that shit backwards to no man's land if you have the right speed and the right distance, you know? To make things easier is when you have the ball like this, all you have to do as you're going for it is just check behind you. Alright, I know my teammate's there. Pass it down. He scores it. You score it. Somebody scores it. And if you see that you're here and they got a guy on the wall, don't hit that shit to them. Because I can't tell you how many times I'll be chilling on wall and they'll do this shit. And then try to follow it. By that time, I'm like, oh, look, free ball. And I just hit that shit. You can see, as you're coming to the ball, you should be looking at the field, looking at the field, looking at the field. Where are the defenders at? He's up on top of wall? Okay, I'm not going to send that on wall. Instead, I'm going to try something different. You know, hit it below him. Fake it. Anything. He's not going to challenge until, well, they shouldn't challenge until it's within their strike zone. So even if you put it kind of below, because they're on the opposite side, it's better than you just hitting it off to them. Sometimes you got to go up the wall, you say, damn, there's a lot of defenders, I'm not going to send that. And then you go low, and then you try to make a play like that, because the guy's already driven up the wall expecting you to send it that way. Sometimes you got to slow play that shit. You go up, you fake it, and then you pass it to your teammate, who then passes it back, you know, and shoots it in the goal. I can't make it shoot directly in the goal. There you go. Who then shoots it in the goal if you got a teammate stationed up or posted up. You know? Anything's better than you doing this shit. Because that's right to them. That is right to them. And they're just going to get the easy clear. And you've just wasted a play. Something as simple as acting like you're going for it and fake it down to use that space. And then send it past the goalie. Let's say that's corner sniffing, for example. They're expecting that ball to come there, so they're corner sniffing. You go around them, put it in their goal, and then they're sitting there. Corner sniffing is what I call it when people are doing this. They're on the side with the ball's on, and they're just sitting there like this, or like this. They're not defending their net, they're just defending this one small angle. Go around them. Hit the ball around them into their net and punish them for that. Excuse me. Pass it to your teammate that's posted out there and let him put it around them if you can't put it around them. Well, hope it makes it. Well, if they push it there, it's gonna make it alright. I figured he was gonna fake that. They're in a party too. He fucked up his touch. I'm gonna hit this over him. I was gonna touch that down, but teammate jumped in front of me, making that awkward as fuck. He hadn't have been there, I'd have been able to just give it a small touch over and down and get those points. That's so bad. I Arsenal flip reset that down. What happened to my actual flip reset portion of that? Buddy, you're in the way. He stopped me from jumping off the wall to follow that ceiling touch. He literally goomba'd me. That's fun. Thank you. I missed! I'm so bad! Oh my goodness. That one hurts the pride right there. That's a pretty big hole that I had to score on. Bruh, I missed twice. Always try to land with your wheels facing down. I mean, that's an obvious tip. He passed it right to that guy, which could have put it right into our net. He needs to work on his ball control and his decision making there. That's a problem. And he let that shit fall before he sent it and didn't even get a goal off of it. I'm gonna go for a touchdown and then try to get maybe a double. Nah, not quite. Fake that. That's open, but I don't have the boost to challenge. I can just posture them. Apparently posturing ain't good enough because they don't care. That's fine. Pinch it with me. Thank you. He panic sent it backwards. Okay. And that's probably an own goal. Close. Teammate, for fuck's sake, he just keeps doing that shit. Every time I try to take that shit up, he's just there to knock me off wall, stop me, Goomba stomp me. I gotta jump for that early. Even if I don't get it, I got to jump for that early. If not, they get a lucky pinch or some dumb shit happens there. There's too many players up. He almost saved his buddy's touch. I'm gonna go for a goal here. Never mind, he just brute forced it, which I mean is kind of smart. It's a bad touch. He's not following it properly. Still works out though. They gave him too much space. Why they gave us that much space for him to recover off of that touch is beyond me. Their guy just sat there and got hit over and bypassed. Why did he sit there? If he would have challenged that, he'd have easily 50'd that and got damage. Oh, he hit it to the wall. It's fine. Okay. That's not very good. Try to go for a double off of his core. That's another thing I don't understand, is why they always hit the ball away from themselves when there's nobody there pressuring them. Thank you. I was waiting on you to jump, so I knew where to put that. Eat it away from our hole. No, we got time. We had time, brother. Tried to get it to him. It was risky, but it was kind of worthwhile. At least I seen that it was worthwhile. I seen my teammate there, so I passed it to him. I mean, I guess this is only Diamond 2, so I shouldn't be expecting, whoops, anything crazy out of my teammates. But it's also like, we gotta do something. Still not good enough. That's fine, he panic hit it. Take those points. Again, take those points. He didn't have control and you hit the ball. Ah! Back to his car. I'm not gonna lie, without the ability to go for aerials, because that other teammate keeps fucking me up, I just don't know what to do. And he hit it where we couldn't score it, so even if this does make it, we're still kind of fucked. And there we go, the endgame toxicity, which is what makes this community the best community in the world. But I don't really know. I really don't. When your teammates take away your ability to use your full skills, you can't aerial, you can't do any of that shit. Because they're always double committing and shit. And you know that anytime you go for an aerial, it's a double commit. What do? I put that in front of you, teammate. Well, just behind you, but the way you could turn around and touch that shit again. Let me turn? That was gonna go in if you would have just touched it correctly. Now you're hitting the ball away from these teammates. To know that you were wrong and the double down. These teammates. Good 50. He gave him all of that space to do whatever he wanted on the orange team, and that man's just threw that shit away. That's fun. That's even better. I don't know why he did such a huge, like, fake turnaround. Yeah. Oh, well, I wanted to go that way, but that's fine too. I guess I'll trust you. I have no other thing but to do, but to trust. He goes for cheeky damage, putting it by his hole. But he does get good damage on our side, so maybe it's worth it. Nice little touch over, but he didn't aim for the hole. I'm gonna demo that guy, even though he has no boost. As long as you don't go for that fucking hole, we're fine. Shoot that. I mean, get damage. I guess that works too. Again, I go for anything and there's somebody just fucking turning the wrong way into that shit. Oh my. It's a comedy now. That could have been a small touchdown. I'm gonna be a nuisance here. Just to try and make them panic. Because we're going to get scored on first at the rate this is going. We should have had this in their fucking net a long time ago. Long time ago. Don't you... They didn't score that. What? How did they not take that easy ass goal? What? I'm taking that. I got this. I ain't got this. It's in, don't fucking touch. Maybe it's not completely in, but still, don't fucking touch it. There we go. That took way too long, by the way. We should have had that shit like 2 minutes ago. He likes the brute force, so I'm just gonna go below them. Well, that's disappointing. See that? When they pop it off their head stupid like that, they've lost all control. That's where you want to challenge at. Read those dumb touches. Go for it early so when it happens you have the ability to pick that shit up. Those dumb touches. It's what you want to look for. There, that's a dumb touch. Punish that man. Oh, how did that not score? Come on, man. Boom. Again. Those dumb touches. Shit. Good fake. They can't score if it's in that area. I like your style. There we go. That goal is, yeah, better say that goal is open. Should be good. And we somehow managed to bring it back. That was, it's a lot more challenging than it needs to be. Funny thing about it is, on my other account, my, I'm Diamond account, I don't know why I checked my name, on my I'm Diamond account, I'm actually at a higher MMR rank in drop shot and casual than I am on this account. Because this account is cursed. And this is supposed to be my extra mode Smurf account. But now my epic free fucking Smurf account is the highest in drop shot now. It's about to roll over the Champ 1. The link. Oh boy. At least it's all just average Joes in the lobby together. There's no teams or anything. I knew he was gonna go under. Okay. I completely fucking whiffed that shit. I can't get that. Good clear. I'm gonna take my time to get back though. He's gonna probably go for it. No, he didn't go for a bump. No demo, no nothing. Interesting. If he hadn't flipped, he could have scored that. Please let me up. I mean, nice shot. I guess thanks for stopping me. I don't like where you're going with that. He could have actually caught that and dribbled that. And kept control there instead of throwing it away. I'm gonna fake that, see if he gets that. Cool. At that point it didn't matter, it was basically open, but he has the faster shot in to score that than I do, so I let the guy with the better angle take that shit. Should I backman be up? No, not really, but if he is gonna, oh my, that was open. But if he is gonna come up, then you know, you gotta kinda swap positions with him, and I start heading back as he heads up, just in case he does somehow fuck that up. Wow, him stumbling saved him from hitting that back to me. Kinda funny. That's fine, I got time to grab boost and everything. I seen you there. I get it. I got it. See, he did the most obvious thing and hit the ball right in front of himself. That is the most obvious thing you could do there. Of course, I'm gonna sit there and dunk the shit out of you. Telling you guys, when you get to the high ranks, those dumbass ball touches and throwing away, things like that, you're going to start getting countered on. I'm gonna play one more and then I'm off for the day. Or I'm off for now, I should say. I'll probably be back later. Don't know though. When you get to the higher ranks, these small touches, you doing shit like, you know, this and whatnot and another, and trying to go to the side and all of that, they're just going to be there to counter you. Only thing I can tell you is the first thing that you think of, probably don't do. Like if your first thought is the flick here, then don't do it. Because they're probably reading the same shit. That you're going to come up to them and then flick them. Instead of flicking it straight, flick it somewhere else, or do the smart thing and look where they're positioned at, and put it in an area where they can't really get to it unless it's awkward. But just don't do the first thing that pops into your mind. Not quite. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'll even leave you the boost so you can struggle getting back as we score on you. There's no reason for this man's to come all the way down to our side to still boost. Okay. You good, bro? Yeah, you're good. Again, my teammate was able to rule one him up the wall because he did the most obvious thing. He's gonna go and he's gonna hit it to me. Or he's gonna whiff completely, because he's bad. The whiff actually saved him from passing the ball to me, though. How did he get away with it? Because he did something that wasn't obvious. Damn, he fucked my team up. Oh, I was wondering if he was going to get that or not. I don't know what this guy thinks he's doing, but he ain't doing it. Might have just goombed my teammate. I'm not entirely sure. That's just open. Teammate. Bang. Easy. Open as fuck. That guy came in, passed up his mark. As soon as he passed up, and I'll save you the replay, just to show you where he fucked up at. As soon as he passed up that fucking corner, it was our goal. For show. Let's go all the way over here. So here, let me, there we go, fly camera. From here, if this guy would have stayed back on this corner, he would have been able to react better. I'm not saying that he would have got it perfectly, but he would have been able to react better to all of us sitting up right here. I could pass it forward. Jazz could have put it in top left corner. Jazz could have went for a fucking demo, taking this man out. If I would have dribbled it, Mustache Man could have went for a bump or a demo there. I could have passed it to Mustache Man. He could have put it wherever he wanted, shot-wise, etc., etc. This is kind of a good luck moment. Where's his buddy at? His buddy's all the way back here because he fully committed. His other buddy's slow because he came in here, picked up this boost, wasted that boost to get to this boost, and now he's trying to demo me. If he would have skipped all of this little pathing right here and he would have just went straight back, maybe he could have interfered with the play or something. So from here, this guy is indeed fucked. But if he sits right here on this corner and uses his camera and all of that, he can now see what the options of shots and things are. He can see Jazz if he's coming in for a demo. If Jazz goes past that boost and continues towards him, then he challenges early this way to be able to either get the pass or to get the flick or whatever is going to come from that. And now he has more of an educated guess. If Jazz doesn't come up for a bump or anything, he now knows that, you know, Jazz is just kind of there, just to be there, and he's not playing any type of position. He now really doesn't have to rely a huge amount on Jazz, because Jazz is either going to keep coming through, or he's going to turn around and go back. Either or. Depending on where Jazz positions, he might not even be able to score the goal, and passing to him might not be worthwhile. This guy right here, though, being posted up where he is, he has the power to shoot the ball anywhere. From where he's positioned at right now, as you can see, as I'm going across, he's leading me and letting me know that he's there. So at any moment that I am dribbling the ball, that I see that this guy tries to challenge me early, or if he moves his position, which he did, I can just pass it to him and he can put that shit behind him. He is basically telling me that, hey, I'm there for that left shot if you need me to be. And again, if that guy would have stayed right there on that corner, I could not really reliably pass to him. At least not right there. Mustache Man would have had to drive in closer to him, and I would have to pass it, and he would have to go for a shot that's crossed. Jazz Hands, picking up boost, is now turning in towards net. And because he's turning in towards net, I now have the option to pass or shoot this way, and Jazz will just redirect it in. So now, if I want to, from here, if Drew goes beyond his mark, I pass it to Mustache Man, we go behind him. If Drew stays on his mark, I pass it through, like right about this angle, and then Jazz just guides it in out of his reach. So doing this, at the beginning, he was fine as he was coming back, but instead of trying to, you know, think about this, calm himself down, and not panic, because at the end of the day, you got a guy that could possibly put it in that side, but that's going to be, you know, a more difficult shot. This guy that can redirect it, but he's kind of somewhat, you know, ways away. And then you have me, that if I try to dribble it, I'm going to get demoed. As this guy gets closer to me, he's either going to demo me, or he's going to force me to throw the ball. So you know that I'm on a finite timer. So looking at all of the, you know, pieces of the puzzle and whatnot, he should know that I'm on a finite timer. If he's paying attention to the field and analyzes this as a defender, which I know champs aren't great defenders, he should expect either one, a pass to happen, or two, a shot to happen. And you can kind of see that it's going to happen within this little bit of time that they have. Now I'm going to go back a little bit to show you why it was obvious in what I was doing. As he came here and I started to get followed, ball, there we go. As it comes through and we're all setting up and we're all getting, you know, I'm being followed and all of that shit. Look at my car. I am turning so far to the other end of this. Now, to be fair, from his perspective, he can't really see, but, you know, the kind of end of my car and all of that. In his mind, I could be either going around the side of this to shoot it, or I could be going straight to pass it. But again, out of all the places he has to defend the particular goal, he's in the best spot right now. Where he makes a mistake is this. He does what most champs do, and they go beyond their mark, and he starts turning out. When you go beyond your mark and start turning out, you are leaving the back end of your goal open. If you had planned on turning out, you should turn out early and go out at an angle like this, so you have the maximum amount of saving angle. If he comes out and he's at the same spot here, he has, well, basically where you can see my screen, all of that of saving angle. Him going past his mark and all of that, this is about all he can save. That's it. Which gives me the easy decision of just passing it to my teammate that's over there. So not only does he fully commit, he commits in and at an angle instead of out, to where he can make a decision on what he needs to do. As soon as he does that and he starts challenging, only thing I have to do is ensure that my touch goes beyond where he can challenge from. Him challenging from middle, again, he only has this little bit of strike angle that he can go for. If he would have challenged from this side, he would now be here. He can see and challenge a little bit better. He can react and do whatever he needs to do. He also jumps early as fuck, which basically lets me know that, hey, we got this. Why challenge from this far back? You're not going to get anything off of it. Which lets me make a very, very easy touch to the side. Bink! He tries his best to get to it, but he's already at an incorrect angle from the start. All he can do is try to go in and do things like that. Again, if he would have been jumping from like this angle, he possibly gets the touchdown, it bounces off wall, goes in, something like that. So I just pop it around them. Very easiest around I can get. Jazz, for whatever reason, overcommits, and then this guy comes in and bang. And that's the end of that. Now, this could have went wrong, because keep in mind, I didn't keep it on the ground. I didn't pass it like a GC. I passed it like a champ. Around him with a small pop instead of keeping it on the ground and low 50ing him and scoring him. I was fully aware in that particular situation here that I could have passed it to Jazz, or I could have immediately passed it over to him and he could have passed it to Jazz. I'm completely aware. I see the field. I see what's going on. I pay probably more attention to my teammates than I do to the actual opponents. Like, I'm aware that right here, I could pass this over the Mustache and Mustache could get it. Or I could go around and I could pass the Jazz. That's too advanced for Champ though. So we go with just a barely touch over. And then we go for a goal shot to make it a Champ play. And then that's the end of that. Jazz should not have double committed to that. Can I go back? Jazz double committing to that is... what the fuck? Jazz double committing to that and going beyond his mark of scoring this corner is real bad. Because if that right here, I would have said fuck it, jumped up and passed it, you know, back towards goal and somehow fucked that up. Jazz cannot pick that up. If he would have missed, hit it off the wall, and went back towards Jazz, Jazz is supposed to be there to score that. This is an all-or-nothing play, basically, but it's a heavy offensive play because we had a breakaway with one guy back. Here, Jazz should stay back and get ready for the next touch. He should not leave his mark. And if Jazz would have somehow managed to hit that shit, we would have been fucked. If Jazz stays here, and as this guy goes to shoot the ball and all that, and things are looking to go awry, he's there to score that. As it goes through, he gets closer, and then here. If that bounces off and goes back across and all of that, if it bounces off and hits double across, I'm here to go back and turn around if things go, you know, too terribly screwy. He's here to where he can just challenge that if it's bouncing across to come in and secure that. But Jazz, being all the way downfield heading back, when we're making an offensive play to get a goal, it's not a good decision. Stay up. Even if it bounces here to there and spills out that direction, somebody's going to be back in time before, they get a goal shot and any of that. You don't need to panic and get back that fast. You don't. You got plenty of time to stay up and challenge and all of that. And this is one of the banes of my existence when it comes to champs. Is champs will already be downfield in the middle of a play. And it's like, bruh, if shit don't work out, we need you. We need the additional pressure. We need the additional manpower. Again, they got a guy that's all the way upfield. If this somehow smashes here, hits here, and shoots out beyond that's downfield, this guy has the goal before you can even think about reacting to it. That's the end of that. If it smashes out super fucking fast somehow and goes to this guy and he gets a redirect back towards our goal, straight in, it's going to go there before you even have a chance to react to that shit. And if it goes to him and he misses it and rolls it up wall or rolls it downfield, you're going to get there before he gets there. Because he has to stop and make a touch and then get back to the ball and do whatever it is he has to do. So you got to kind of keep a basis in your mind of playtime. How long it's going to take them to make a particular play. And whether or not you need to get back in time for that. Jazz should still be up here, securing this goal. Which gives me time to go back and grab boost, or if it bounces back and it misses again, I can turn around and, go to goal. I can turn around, I can re-challenge if it's sitting there, and I'm fast enough, I can grab it, turn around, and try to make a shot, keep applying pressure. Or if the ball misses and the other guy passes it to me, I can go here, go up the wall, and then pass it back, and we can continue to keep pressure on the play. But that, us be trying to make a play, and him going back like that, is almost pointless. Almost. We know the two guys are slow coming back, and we know there's one defender. I'll get rid of that pressure. But that is going to be the end of the stream. And as I always say, you are always part of the play. No matter where you are on the stream, on the field, you are always part of the play. Doesn't matter if you're passing it, shooting it, sitting back in no man's land, sitting in your goal, whatever. You are always part of the play. Keep that in mind. Don't get caught out or with your pants down. It's embarrassing. And that's what makes you rage quit matches and leave early, because you're embarrassed. Because Rocket League is very much a pride game. Even though I don't see where people get that particular pride from. Like I said, the reactions that I give while I'm playing and all of that's just kind of for content. I really don't give a shit that that guy Goomba stomped me or knocked me off the fucking wall, or they were playing like fucking ass in the corner. That shit's beyond me. I really don't care. But content-wise, you gotta react to that shit. Because you are a content creator, most importantly an entertainer. If you're not reacting to the shit and you're just sitting there, just playing, not really saying much, people are like, oh, okay. This is like, this guy's a bot. He's just sitting there playing. He's not talking. He's not doing anything. He doesn't even have, a nice set of double D tits or anything like that, He ain't wearing anything sexy. He's not eye candy or anything like that. He ain't got a face cam. I'm not gonna stay and watch this shit. You give a fucking reaction of shit that's happening and all of that. People tend to be a little bit more interested. in shit. Because I mean, when I regularly play by myself, maybe one match out of the others, I'll get into like a typing with the other boys in the lobby. And it's generally us just in a long lobby, you know, just talking about dumb shit and having a fun time playing. Somebody gets mad at me when I'm playing on my own, I just ignore them. You're trash. Well, trash ain't gonna reply back to you, brother. Well, you should stop doing that and that. You're a moron. You're so-and-so and so-and-so. Uh-huh. And I'm gonna keep being so-and-so and so-and-so. So either put up a forfeit or abandon the match or shut up. Because after they say something to you, they generally won't say anything else if you don't reply back to them. Now, if the other team says something and, you know, they try to bandwagon that shit because, well, cyberbullying and whatnot, people with low confidence generally tend to go online and try to bandwagon and try to jump onto somebody else, you know, peanut gallery, somebody else's arguments and shit. That's what they do. I pay attention to that shit and I analyze it accordingly. My teammate's talking shit to me, so if the other team starts talking shit and agreeing with my teammate that's talking shit, they're doing it for a reason. They're gaslighting for the drama so they can pick up the easy win. I ain't about that shit. I'm gonna keep fucking playing, and I'm gonna keep doing, you know, what I do, regardless if my teammate gets mad or not. And if he elects to get pissed and start bumping me and all of that shit, I throw out the forfeit, I throw up the report, and then I continue doing what I do. You're not going to ruin my day. It's not going to happen. I'm going to play the game that I paid for, mind you. I'm going to pay the game that I paid for. It's like when it comes to the Elden Ring duels and shit like that, and people are like, you can't heal during a duel. Until probably around December comes, where they add in the duelist arena and all of that. It's just an invasion. You're invading somebody at a popular invasion spot. If somebody elects to heal during one of your duels, as you call it, then fuck it. Accept the shit. It's not fair. They have full Estus and I only have like 3. It's not fair. Well, what's not fair is if they die, they have the option of losing, you know, all of their souls and all of that. Etc., etc. You know? It's not fair that you're the one invading in their world, even if they summoned you and you left your sign there. Again, putting your sign down is the same as signing a contract saying that you're agreeing to having those disadvantages. The whole point of an invasion is for you to go in and kill the host. That's it. You don't need 12 Estises or 15 or however many fucking are in Elden Ring. Actually, I think there's like 13, but still. You don't need the maximum amount of Estus because you're not supposed to be pursuing them and running after them and constantly, you know, applying that pressure on them while healing and all of that. No, you go in for a battle, and after the battle's over, you either win and claim victory or you die. You're just a shadow, like the NPCs that invade you that you can summon and go to their worlds and shit like that. Everybody knows the duelist arena and all of that's going to be implemented later. I don't know why the player base is trying to create a pseudo duel arena before that shit comes out. I don't understand it. Plus, if FromSoft wanted to activate the dueling thing, they would just make it to where you get summoned into their world, into the bubble, like you do with the Volcano Manor. They would do it that way in those missions. You go and you touch their sign, and then you both get teleported into wherever the sign is, and a bubble spawns around you, and then you fight in that bubble. That's the way they would do the summon invasions and things like that if they really wanted to, you know, limit you. They would limit you both to whatever the hell your shit is, and then they would call it a day. Thoroughly implemented into the game and all of that for an NPC quest reward and all of that. So it's like, wait patiently and let people do whatever they want to do because they paid a hefty sum for the game. And if I spend, you know, 60, 70, 80 fucking dollars for a game, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. If I feel like healing during a duel because you're doing some bullshit, then I'm gonna heal during a duel. You know what I'm saying? If you pull out the old, you know, the dragon breath that gives you the scarlet rot and all of that shit at the beginning of the match in a small ass circle, you best believe I'm gonna eat a bulbous and then I'm gonna eat a bulbous and then I'm gonna heal that fucking damage up because that's a bullshit start. And I've seen that shit where people at the start of the match summon the fucking dragon breath and all of that, and then immediately start attacking with a bunch of dragon shit. Fuck all that shit. Exactly. If you randomly invade me in Elden Ring when I'm just trying to play, I use all 14 flasks to not lose. Exactly. And you have every right to. You have every right to. They are invading your world. They are in your world. Your world, your rules. And it just baffles me on how pissed people can be. Especially if you're a YouTuber and you heal or some shit or somebody heals against you. And you go to the comments section and people are like, that person's the scum of the earth. They should go kill themselves. And a whole bunch of other shit, you know, toxic comments. Because he healed one time. I'm like, bro, what? You're that angry because he healed while dueling you. Elden Ring has some stupid fucking damage that you can do for one another because of the way the game's balanced and all of that shit. They went more over fun for the players and all of that instead of, you know, a very heavily balanced, you know, system. So if I take the time to get summoned and you hit me with some mungo dungo attack that takes me down to 1 HP and the match is gonna end in like 5 seconds, I mean, it's like, bruh, I'm just gonna heal the fuck up and we can restart this shit. I'm not gonna be, you know, part of a fucking 15-second duel. You know what I'm saying? I walk in, I get spawned in after waiting through all of those load scenes and all of that, just to get fucking one-tapped. And then you expect me to just fight you when you're at full health and I'm at 1 HP. Fuck that shit, brother. I'm gonna pop me out the heal ski, and we're gonna reset. Because I don't like wasting time sitting in loading screens. Wait in a loading screen, play for 5 seconds, wait in another load screen, put your sign down, wait for somebody to summon you, wait another load screen, spawn in, wait for them to set up, drink their flask and all of that shit. Like, nah. Now, if it's an honorable duel and all of that, if it's an honorable duel, and you know, we're having a nice fun duel that lasts for a little bit of time, you know, a minute or so, and nobody's healing, I'll be honorable. But if you come at me with the dragon's breath and all of that shit, nah, bro, there ain't no honor. If you want to have an honorable fight, I expect you to be honorable. Hitting me with the dragon's breath and all the other fucking, well, Rivers of Blood got nerfed, but, you know, the old Rivers of Blood, you know, the Moon Veil, and you're just coming in, you know, just fucking around being a fuckhead. Stars of Ruin used to be a bad one, which they nerfed, you know, the Rivers of Blood, Stars of Ruin, type shit like that. I'm like, I have no fucking respect for you. I'm not gonna give you a respectable and honorable duel because you're not respecting or honoring me. Yeah, the swords are cool and all of that, but there's some things that you should and should not use. You're using the Scarlet Rot Dragon's Breath and all the other bullshit Dragon's Breath in a small arena that we're not supposed to leave. I'm not gonna have any type of respect for you. I'm gonna retaliate back and I'm gonna run you down. I'm gonna destroy you, but I'm also gonna heal. You brought that bad juju upon yourself. It's also funny when they invade and immediately blast it in one hit. I actually think it's funny in the opposite way when they invade and people are waiting at their spawn point trying to hit them and they have the iframes, and then they just swing their sword a couple of times and kill all three of the host and his crew. I think that shit's funny because they're trying to spawn camp and it ends up working against them and they all die. I'm like, yeah, that's what you get for spawn camping, you little bitch. I find that shit funny as hell. And I'm glad that they addressed the spawn camping issue before it became a problem. It's just too many times that shit happens. And they're all coming and they're rivers of blood and moon veiling and doing all of this shit, and then the invader goes, Holy Earth Shaker, and then boom, and all three of them fucking die. And it's like, damn. If only you weren't the scumbag, maybe you could have done something. Fucking hilarious. I love that shit. But I don't know. Dark Souls is always going to have its niche community. Well, I should say FromSoft Games is going to have its niche community. And the thing that I hate about it is people transfer things between games. Elden Rings is not Dark Souls 4. Elden Ring is Elden Ring. Do not bring your Dark Souls 3 bullshitting rules to Elden Ring. Different game. Different thing. I never learned where spawn stuff was. Would just be randomly running around and get invaded. Yeah. I like the invasion aspect and all that. I just hate how the community brings Dark Souls 3 over into Elden Ring. Dark Souls 3 had its duel arena, had its, you know, duel etiquette and shit like that, but it doesn't work well in Elden Ring. It doesn't. It doesn't translate over properly because it's a completely different experience. And you have, you know, your bigots, your elitists, you know, the people that don't want to ever change, the people that want to stay and say, well, this is just Dark Souls 3 with an extension pack. It's not its own game type of shit. And that's how they view it. And then somebody does something that's not Dark Souls 3 etiquette and they're like, you can't do that. And it's like, it's not Dark Souls 3. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Then once the duelist arena comes out and all of that, and we're even, then we can talk about, you know, what you can and can't do. But then it's going to be regulated by FromSoft. FromSoft has allowed you in that particular evasion area to have everything that you have on you. So I'm going to use everything until it's otherwise labeled. Now, FromSoft has respected the duelist arena. They have said that they respect that place as a duelist area. But it doesn't mean that they're respecting, you know, the entirety of the dueling rules. Because there's some dueling rules that are just low-key that people don't even know about, especially if they're a first-time player. And they're not going to know. They invade into somebody's world, or they call somebody to, you know, test out their weapon or some shit. Or some shit like that. You know, you go online and say, places where I can find, you know, red summon signs or something. And they say, oh, well, this place here is a popular duelist arena. And you go, okay, I want to test out my build. You go to that area. You fight somebody. You know, you're testing out your build. You heal. And then they point you down and then leave. And you're like, what the fuck? Why did they leave? And then you play another person. You know, you fight against them and all of that. You're having a good time and a good battle. You heal. And then they point down and leave. And it's like, why is everybody being fucking toxic? Like, what the fuck's happening? Then you come to find out that, well, the player base are stuck-up prudes. And they believe that you shouldn't heal during a duel. This is why our entire world hasn't advanced. Our civilization hasn't advanced. Because you got people like that who always want shit to remain the same and never actually progress to something new. Same thing that's happening in the game, same thing that happens in the world. It's all full circle. And the sad thing about it is, on the internet, people aren't afraid to tell you their opinion because they think that they're protected. They will tell you to your face, well, I don't say to your face, to your virtual screen, to your screen, everything in their mom and what they think about you. And then if you step in front of them, nah, I didn't say that shit. Nah, it was my brother, my sister, my cousin, my dog. I didn't say that shit, man. Nah, man, somebody hacked my account. I didn't say anything to you. Right. Again, one day, somebody's gonna do something so fucked up that they're gonna have to regulate and actually follow through with cyberbullying and the shit talking and shit like that. Now that things are going into VR to where you're more in person and all of that, and are saying things to people and typing things to people that could particularly affect them, and doing things, now they're probably going to be forced to regulate shit. Like, for example, Facebook, or Meta, as I should say, had their metaverse called something Horizon, and there's a whole bunch of reports on females getting groped and raped and a whole bunch of other shit that's been going on. One, I'm like, bitch, just take your headset off, or turn that shit off, instead of just sitting there. Because if you're getting virtually raped and you're staying there as part of that shit, I don't care if it's for research or not, you're obviously, I hate to say it, you're obviously involved and you're an accomplice to the situation. IRL, if somebody's holding you down and doing something to you, there's not really much you can do. Because you're tied to the physical plane, you know what I'm saying? In a game, you just log the fuck out, ban them, so you don't see their avatars and they can't interact with you. Or just turn the fucking headset off, or take it off of your fucking head. Oh, they're doing some shady shit. I'm going to take my headset off. Turn your headset off. Go to your menu and exit out the fucking game. I got raped. It felt so real. I don't understand. I'm afraid of VR. Children shouldn't be on VR because all of this shit's happening and whatnot and another. Yeah, but people that have brains just rage quit. I don't understand why there are so many articles of people getting groped or sexually harassed. It's VR. It's gonna happen. It happens in real life. It's gonna happen in VR. There's people out there that get groped every fucking day. Sorry to tell you, you're just facing reality a little bit more because people are more ballsy because they know they can get away with the shit. Now, Meta has released a barrier that keeps people 4 feet away from you that you can disable if you want to. So they've actively tried to combat that shit, but it's also like, I think it's 4 feet, right? I don't know. But they've created a barrier that is on by default and all of that that keeps people from interacting with your avatar that you can turn off if you so elect to. But it's also like, something like that shouldn't even have to be implemented. If somebody's fucking with you, click on their avatar, press the block button, and poof, they don't exist to you anymore. If their block system's good, or poof, you can't see their avatar anymore. They're done. You can't hear them talk. They can't message you. They can't do anything to interact with you. They can't do Shit. How hard is it? Click, block. Click, block. Click, block. And now you have no cares in the world. Why would you ever sit there? And it wasn't like, the shit happened, quick. Somebody walked by, grabbed a titty or something like that. Nah. You read the full article. She sat there and just let that shit happen because research in parentheses. Right. Research. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You definitely did that for research. Yep. 100%. 100p. Yep. That was definitely, yep. Mm-hmm. Your research was just justification for it, bitch. We all know who or how the fuck you are. Fuck out of here with that shit. When that motherfucker walked up and touched your ass or grabbed your tits or something like that, research is over. That's it. That's the end of the hypothesis, the thesis, or the hypothesis, your thesis, things like that. You walk away or go to another lobby or something like that, and then you can just see how many times dumb shit or comments or like that comes up. You didn't have to stand there and let them do all of that nasty ass shit. Because if you're not saying stop or get away from me or even trying to, fight back or leave, most people will just assume, well, she ain't fighting it. Fuck it, dude. You know what I'm saying? But nope. She just sat there, let it happen, and then wrote an article over how bad the metaverse is going to be. Because there's been an increase in, people getting groped and getting sexually harassed online. Getting sexually harassed online is somebody sending you, naked pictures, following you around, saying that you're sexy and giving you all kinds of other, derogatory things. Maybe their avatar's nude or some shit, and they're following you around, or, they reach out and they, maybe get a grope or some shit like that. Yeah, that's something that you really don't have a choice of because it happens so fast. But having an entire rape section, that's on you. Don't even play the fucking victim card for that shit. Just turn this shit off. I have an Oculus Rift or a Quest 2 sitting right beside me. When I see some shit that I don't want to see, I either block the motherfuckers in front of me or I turn my shit off or quit the app. Or just sit my headset down and then walk away till the round's over in some case, because, well, I just got shit on by some 10-year-old kid and I'm feeling kinda bad. You just walk away. I don't know. People are gonna be fucking stupid. They're gonna always say that VR shit's bad and all of that. Now, whenever they have haptic feedback and all of that, where they have vibration motors and shit like that, and it can physically affect your body, now we can talk about sexual harassment, when you can actually pseudo feel what's going on to your actual avatar and all of that. When those become readily available and cheap, and that's included into a VR system, then we can have a discussion about things going a little bit too far, and that's where the research becomes more relevant and whatnot. But I mean, most are going to have options to where, only the arms are available or the legs are available, or, if you're hit, for example, by a weapon or something, it'll have, specific instances to make things, vibrate and whatnot. But as of now, honestly, they should just take their research papers and throw them bitches in the trash. Yeah, they go over other things that are kind of relevant, but it's like, the whole point of the thesis of it is that sexual harassment's kind of gotten out of hand in VR. And I mean, it's been like that for a long time. In VR, people literally just come and stand inside of you, not, intentionally, but they'll just walk over and stand inside of your avatar just to talk to you. And you'll have a group of people either standing in a circle, sitting in a circle, or just standing inside of each other, just having full-on conversations because they don't give a shit. You'll have the weirdos that walk over to you that act like they're spitting on you, sneezing on you, busting a cap and you doing weird things like that. You'll find weirdos that do that shit. It comes with it. Just like when you play a multiplayer game, you better expect some sort of fucking toxicity to be shooting your way. In some way, shape, or form, especially if you're new at the game. You better expect some toxicity from someone, or you're not playing multiplayer games right. But it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, shit just don't make sense. And generally, I'm the one that's like, man, we need to regulate this shit. You know, kids are playing that shit. Well, the thing is, it is already regulated. There are, you know, age tags and shit like that in particular lobbies and things like that. Your child who is underage gets on a place that's, you know, 18 or 21 plus, and then something happens to them, that's your fault as a parent for not having any type of age restriction on their particular device that allows them to go through that shit. It's your fault for not monitoring them and seeing what the fuck they're up to. If the shit says 16 plus and your child's 13 playing, then you should be there sitting there the entire time monitoring them as they play that shit. Especially if it's a multiplayer game. You'd be surprised how many parents don't monitor their children. As the song goes, get off the couch and go raise your son. It's very true. Quit being lazy. If your son, daughter, whatever, is going to do shit or getting involved in shit that is above their age range, you have to keep in mind that they're learning from this shit. Everything that they see, they are learning from. And if they don't have the common sense to differentiate between the shit, you're gonna have issues. They're watching people be doing dumbass things. They're seeing the toxicity, or they're hearing it because they're on a game that has voice chat and you're not monitoring them. And people are, you know, saying all of that other bullshit and whatnot. Or if your child's naive and listen to people that are online and ends up doing some dumb shit. Like the guy that poured, the kid that poured like a gallon of milk or some shit into his Xbox or something. Some dumbass shit that they convinced that kid to do. Ruining his shit. That's where the Alt that 4 and delete Windows 32 folder, shit like that comes into play. Some pranks are harmless. The Alt F4 most of the time just gets them off the game that they shouldn't be on in the first place. But the deleting Windows 32 folder and shit like that, you know, it's a bad thing. It's creating problems. If your child has your credit card information or something like that, and the game has, you know, where you can exchange items or something, somebody talks to your child, gives them an item that's worthless, and the child uses your credit card to give them a shit ton of, you know, monetary shit, and then they in turn get like $500 out of your shit, transfer it into their fucking account, withdraw the fucking money. You go to your bank and you're like, so-and-so and so-and-so, and they're like, nah, bruh. Purchases are legit. They came from this shit. Then you have to, well, now you're out money. 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000. You're out a fuck ton of money, however much you have on your damn card. And you gotta live with that shit. Because you weren't monitoring your son. You had your credit card on file somewhere. They got to that shit. They bought whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And you hear the funny stories where, you know, kids buy DoorDash or some other type of shit on their parents' computers. And it's like, oh, it's a cute story. They'll remember all their life and all of that. Yeah, and what happens when that, you know, $40 bill turns into $400? And you're fucked and you can't pay your fucking bills for the month or something like that because you're terrible at saving. You know, what do you do then? Most credit card companies and shit like that, or whatever card companies, are nice. and will give you a reprieve from that, and they'll try to help you reverse, whatever happened. But others aren't so nice, and they say you're gonna have to live with that. But long story short, because I'm about to get off this bitch and get some food now that I've rounded the 2 hour mark, is that everything that is happening in your child's life is helping them to become what they're going to be in the future. And even if you think that it's harmless now, you won't know how harmful it's going to be until they get into their adolescent years. When they start maturing and all of that and forming their own sense of self, that's when you're going to see whether or not you did a good job or whether or not you did a shit job. And you should be terrified. Because that can be the difference of, you having a drug fucking cracked out son or daughter. Or, a sensitive, Christian-like type of structure. Or a mix between both, which would be even more terrifying, having a sensitive-ass, drugged-out fucking child. Or whether they're going to be normal and bored, whether they're going to be introverted, extroverted, liking to talk and be around people, not liking to talk and be around people, whether they're going to be a contribution to the workforce because they do, chores and whatnot, or whether they're not going to be a contribution and they're never going to be able to work any job their entire life because they've been spoiled, pampered, everybody's been, oh, poor baby, oh, it's okay, and you're coddling them and shit like that. Whether they're going to be codependent or just regularly dependent. All of that shit. You are determining that shit as a parent right now. Whether they're going to be a pedophile or some shit like that. Serial killer, psychopath, any of that shit. You're helping determine that. Now, you can't change somebody's personality. Whatever personality they're going to develop no matter how hard you try to keep them away from something. However, you can affect the extremities of that. If your son, likes to kill fucking shit, likes to kill animals, kills cats and a whole bunch of other shit like that, and starts going down, the sociopathic or psychopathic tendencies and shit, you can give them therapy. God don't buy them any pets. Don't let them go out and, to pet parks. Don't let them go out to places where, there aren't animals. Don't give them any type of weapons and shit. Don't put them on violent fucking games. Or anything like that involves that shit. You can control the severity of the shit. Because I guarantee you, a psychopath that's been monitored closely and living a specific healthier lifestyle ain't gonna be as bad as a psychopath whose parents are like, oh, fuck it. You want a cat? Here's a cat. You want to play violent games? Here, play a violent game. You want to watch all this crime shit where all this other bitch or all of this shit happens? Sure. You want to look up how to make a bomb on the internet? Sure. Do whatever you want to do, bro. You do you, boo-boo. I guarantee the monitor one's gonna be, still gonna be a psychopath. You're not gonna be able to remove that trait from them. But they're not going to be as dominantly a psychopath as the other guy that has no holds barred. The ones when they're children, somebody steals a ball from them and they stab that motherfucker type shit, or send them to the hospital or some shit. It's always going to be aspects of their personality. If the person likes sports and you just say, nope, no sports, you make them fat as fuck, you keep them inside all day, and you make them introverted. Maybe they play sports games. Maybe they go behind your back and do some shit. Maybe they, only play sports and shit, gym time at school, and they'll give it their all. They go out and play with the neighborhood children and play sports. It's part of their personality and part of who they are. You're not going to be able to stop them from doing that. Now, there are some exceptions. Like, example, if somebody's like hooked on drugs and, you know, medicine and shit like that. Most people that use drugs have an underlying issue that has pushed them to go that far. Drugs, you're using drugs, is not part of their personality. They're going to be very susceptible to go into drugs and alcohol and shit to try and get rid of those problems. Yes, but keeping them away from drugs and all of that, if you're not solving the general issue, it's not going to help them. You can lock somebody in rehab for 2 fucking years and not give them a drop of anything. But if you don't fix the underlying issues, they're going to go back. It's just that simple. As soon as they find a situation that they cannot deal with, they're going to go straight back. Whoop. And that is why behavior health psychologists and things like that make, you know, $450,000 a fucking year. Because you find the more you dig into psychology, especially behavioral psychology, the more you realize that half the dumbass shit people do is because they just can't cope. They don't have the coping mechanism for it. And then one thing that becomes, you know, a scratch becomes a laceration, then starts tearing and starts ripping, and the next thing you know, you're down all the way to the bone, and then you're starting to bleed out, and then, you know, things just get worse and worse. Instead of treating that scratch as it comes through and keeping yourself, you know, emotionally sound and healthily sound, people start picking at that scratch. It starts getting itchy and all of that. They pick at it and pick at it and pick at it, and then it gets infected, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And then they take a shot of, I don't know, let's say morphine in this case, because it makes the pain go away. But you still have the infection and the nasty goopiness on your body. You just can't feel the pain and the itchiness anymore. So you still have the problem, but you just ignore it. Then down the year, when the problem becomes something super serious and all of that, they send you out to rehab and take away the morphine. But the pain and the itchiness and all of that stays. And that's how most people don't recover from drugs. Because, yeah, you take the drugs from them and all of that, and people are like, well, see, isn't things better now that you're not on drugs and you're not having to scrounge for money and all of that shit? Fuck, scrounging for money, becoming a prostitute, you know, licking a dog's asshole, some chick did before, for that shit, and she openly admitted that shit, was nothing compared to the pain and suffering that they were feeling deep inside. Nothing compared to that. It's crazy. Another thing that people don't realize is because something feels a specific way to you, doesn't mean that it's going to feel the specific way to somebody else. And that is all issues. For somebody, getting a hug could be as great as having sex. You hug them, they feel like they just gotten laid. They are the happiest that they've ever been in their life. You've made their entire week by giving them a hug. Another person, if you hug them, they're going to think that you're fucking disgusting and you've just ruined their entire week. They have to go and take a shower now because your nasty ass body touched theirs. Something simple as that. There is no right or wrong answer. To some people, you know, when it comes down to it, like that, the I'm dead clip. Some people think that the shopkeeper and all of that is the OG out there and everything that he did was 100% correct. Whereas other people, myself included, pointed out the things that he did were completely, you know, wrong, or at least not right for that particular situation. And in that case, there's an obvious answer. He did that shit to his fucking self. And then he created an Ask Me Anything post, and is probably going to get himself in deep doo-doo, but he did delete the shit. But I mean, anything that's deleted can be brought back up easily. I don't know why that dumbass didn't ask me anything and answered questions and all that shit. Because if they do elect to sue your ass, you're going to be in a lot of fucking trouble, my dude. A lot of fucking trouble. Never brag about some shit or even talk about some shit after it happens. As the Miranda warning says, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can be used against you in the court of law. That means as soon as you do something fucking wrong, shut your fucking mouth and don't say a fucking thing. As soon as they give you a Miranda warning, don't say a fucking thing. Nothing. Nothing. Not a single word. You get in the cuffs, you get thrown into the back, you stay quiet. They take you back to the police station, they send you to jail, you say nothing. Now when you have a lawyer near you, you speak to your goddamn lawyer. You get someplace where everything's cool, hunky-dory, and not being recorded, and then you ask your lawyer to basically speak for you. You do not give any type of direct answers or anything like that. And if you have to speak about something, you say everything that you're going to say to your lawyer in their ear. The lawyer will nod his head whether or not you should say that, and then you can say whatever it is you need to say. Do not get upset. Do not get wound up. Do not think that the police are your friends. They are not your friends. They will never, ever, ever be your friends. I don't care if they're the coolest motherfucker out there. When it comes to the end of the day, when it comes to their job, they're going to do their job versus being your friend. Obviously, there's exceptions, because I know everybody and their mom is going to say, well, I know a police officer, and he ain't going to do so and so and so and so and so and so. And this, that, and another. There's always exceptions. But the police use manipulation to make their jobs easy. If they can make you say or admit openly or say some shit that you're going to regret later, that's it. That's money in the bank for them. They say, okay, we understand. We'll do the best we can to help you. And in that case, they're going to lock your ass up and they're going to hit you with the fucking felony. And that's going to be the best thing for you. So you can't hurt anybody else or do anything else wrong. They're going to keep you in prison for as long as possible. But as much as shit sucks in fucking America, I must say that I am glad that I never ran into the fucking police in Japan. The Japan police are fucking terrifying. Their whole process is fucking terrifying. I wanted to go over and visit that shit one day, but nah. Absolutely, positively, fuck all, no. One, I'd have to learn the language. Two, I would have to learn the etiquette and all of that. Three, I would have to learn their laws and shit like that. Four, their destinations and a whole bunch of other shit where, you know, you're welcome to be at. Because you can't just go wherever the fuck you want in other people's countries. There are places that just won't welcome Americans. You'll walk in and they'll kick you out. No. No, you're not welcome here. Why? Because other foreigners have ruined that shit for you. So you're no longer allowed in there. No matter what kind of, you know, things that you've undergone, or learned. You're just not welcome because your country's full of fucking dumbasses that fucked with their shit, or they just don't know how to deal with you. Just to put it into perspective, you hear all the shit that you hear about Florida and people doing crazy shit, and most of America's like, well, that's just Florida for you. People think that America is basically Florida. How we look at Florida, how we see Florida's crazy, unchained, and a whole bunch of weird shit happening. That's how the rest of the country views America, or the rest of the world views America, as if we're all Floridians. So yeah, when we go to other places and they're like, no, 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 we don't want to deal with you. You're not allowed here. Please leave. It's because they don't know how to deal with that type of fucking crazy. Either they don't speak the language or, they just don't want to risk, their establishment because some crazy ass Americans coming in. And the Americans, you've met the Americans in public that want to stop and create a huge ass scene and do all this other shit. One, those people would never make it in Japan because they would be locked up for a long fucking time for defamation. Yes, that is a thing in Japan. I've done my research. You can be sued by somebody, defamation, even if it's true. Let's say there's a famous celebrity actress who gets up on stage and all of that, and you somehow seen that she had a mole on her left ass cheek or some shit. And you typed, I seen the cutest thing today, so-and-so had a mole on her ass cheek. And she found out that you said that shit, she could sue you and fucking destroy your entire livelihood because you said something fucking stupid. You say something bad about somebody's business, they can sue you. Even if it's true, they can sue you. Shut your fucking mouth, keep your head down, and continue walking. It is that simple. Japan is a very scary place for foreigners, especially Americans, because of the way we're raised and the couples of freedoms that we have and all of that shit. We are very rude to a lot of other countries. And things that we wouldn't consider rude and all of that, it's hugely rude in other countries. Japan is crazy. I would say interesting. I wouldn't say crazy. They have a lot less crime rate, and their conviction rate's like 99%. Because their judicial system, the court system and all of that, it's fucking terrifying. It is. It's terrifying. If you get apprehended by the police or the police is coming, like if you ever watch any type of cartoon or anything, where they say, oh, the cops are coming, and you see people, mid-fight stand up and fucking run. That's why. That shit is true. You do not want to be detained by the police. In America, they keep you like, what, 2 or 3 days max, and if they don't have anything to charge you with, they gotta let you go. I think it's like 2 days or some shit. In Japan, they can hold you 2 weeks without even interrogating or anything for you. That can then extend up to 2 months, which can then extend up to 6 months. So you can be held in a police station, like in their jail system, for 6 months without even knowing what the fuck's going on. And they'll pull you out of a cell, interrogate you, and then put you back into the cell. So you could be stuck in Japan for 6 months if they don't fly you out and take you to an embassy just to get rid of you. 6 months in their system before anything even happens to you. If they have any inklings of charges and they have to do an investigation, they can hold you for a year. And then if you are guilty, after a year of sitting there waiting for them to do their investigation, they find out that you're guilty, then you serve your sentence on top of that year of being held. So let's say it's a year. So you would have a year of being held, and then you would have an additional year of your sentence on top of that. Whereas when you first came in, you could have said that you were guilty and been out in a year. Scary. If you ever get detained by the Japan police and it's not off of, just some minor ass bullshit, 2 weeks at the bare minimum. No, not 2 weeks. It's 20-something days. It's like 21 days. 21 days, so basically a month of your life. Gone. It's like 21 or 24 or some shit. I don't know. I haven't looked at that shit in a long time because I gave up on going to Japan. 20-something days. It's just gone. Most people don't even plan on vacationing for a month, but your ass is gonna be there for a month. You didn't fuck up. So yeah, when you dial that number to get the police on your way, shit's serious. And that's why when you see people threaten the police and all of that, people stop what the fuck they're doing and they take off running. Okay, nobody want to deal with that shit. You will lose your job and your entire career, everything that you've worked for, by getting detained by the police. That quick. People with tattoos, you're going to be looked down upon. Tattoos, I mean, all of you guys probably know what the Yakuza and mobsters and all of that shit is. They are defined by tattoos and shit like that. You walk across or you go there and you have tattoos and shit, they're going to think that you're a criminal or a bad person or a gangster. You don't want to have tattoos, especially openly exposed tattoos. Arm tattoos, back tattoos, face tattoos, shit like that. If you have tattoos, you're better off removing them if you're planning on going over. Mannerisms of speaking. How in America, we walk in, we get to a waiter and all of that shit. We sit at a table, we wait for the waiter to come back to order our food. They want or get drinks, and then they come back later on, ask for what you want, and then walk away again. In Japan, they call the person over whenever you want a drink or anything like that. Like if they seat you, then they might ask you what you want to drink or anything like that since they're there. But afterwards, they're not gonna fuck with you until you say, "Excuse me, can I order something?" Then they'll come over. If you don't say anything, then they won't say shit to you. They'll just let you sit there with your fucking water or whatever the fuck you have. They expect you to clean up after yourself when you get done eating. You can't sit there with, you know, your food and your plates and all of that shit fucking just sit out all over the table. No. You clean up any spills that you make. You stack all of your plates and everything else that you're eating in a nice orderly stack. Put that shit on the tray or whatever they gave you. And then you get up and you walk away. You don't leave a mess like you can in America with your dishes and shit everywhere. When they come over, they should be able to take a washcloth. And I mean, if you spill any ketchup on the table or any salt or something, you wipe that shit up. They should be able to come over with a cloth and do just a basic wipe down of the table and then pick up your dishes. That's how quick their shit is. Unlike America, well, some Americans, I always try to stack my shit the best I can because that's just the proper thing to do. But some Americans, they eat their food and all of that, and then they leave their plates and shit wherever, and then the person comes over and they just clean that shit up, stack everything and all of that, or they take your food as you get done eating it. Your food and plates and shit. Nah, you are self-sufficient when it comes to that shit in Japan. You say they're polite, they are... I guess polite's a word that you can use, but it's not that. They're more reputation-based in Japan. So they're being polite because it affects their reputation, because reputation is everything in Japan. You know, they've come back from, you know, the different eras and things like that, because they have a rich history. So it's not that they're polite, it's that their reputation matters. If you have a bad reputation, you're really not going to get anywhere when it comes to being in Japan. So, I mean, I guess, yes, you can say they're being polite, but they're just kind of, you know, keeping that good reputation that they have going for them. So, yes, they are polite. Yes, they have decent customer service, a lot better than American, I can tell you that. And they'll give you an arm. Yeah, there you go. Death before dishonor. Exactly. That explains that exactly. Because, I mean, it's something simple as, you know, if you watch cartoons and shit, or anime, or anything like that, when you go into somebody's house and all of that, one, they always take off their shoes and put on, you know, the house slippers, and then the host always says, let me get you some tea. And, you know, they serve them and actually are a good host. That is them maintaining a reputation. If you don't serve them tea or anything like that, you're going to have a bad reputation and you're going to be dishonoring yourself. Things like that. Yeah, there you go. You get it. You get it. This is a perfect analogy. Death before dishonor is exactly how that shit goes. And the more and more I looked into Japan's habits and things like that, the more and more I figured out that I ain't ready for that shit. I mean, they have, you know, tourist traps and things like that, but I'm not going there to look at, you know, the tourist trap places. I'm not going to go to Japan and eat at a McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to actually go in and, you know, enjoy the Japanese cuisine and all of that, but I have to figure out where I can go and where I can't go, you know? And a whole bunch of other shit. So learning the language is a must. Learning where and where not you can go is a must. Learning the mannerisms and things like that so your ass don't go to fucking prison is a must. You're probably going to want to go with another person, maybe even another two people, just to stay safe. Japan might not have a huge crime rate, but keep in mind that you're a foreigner in another person's country. If something happens, you're going to want somebody to back you up. Not like fight-wise, but, you know, say you bump into somebody and the cops come or some shit. Do you think they're going to believe you, the foreigner, or you think they're going to believe the citizen? I'm not saying it's a racist thing or anything like that, but you would generally believe your people, especially if they have a good reputation, over a foreigner who probably did do something rude to incite all of this. They just don't understand what they've done is rude. So having, you know, at least another person with you is a must. You would like to have a translator or somebody who can natively speak as well, that's been born and raised and then moved to America to guide you places you can go. That's also a nice thing to have, or to hire somebody to take along with you if you do want to get off the, you know, the tourist path. It's a lot of places to go. I mean, most of you know they have a lot of trains and stuff like that. You're not supposed to be loud on trains. You're supposed to be quiet, because there's a lot of people generally on trains. Everybody kind of keeps to themselves and stays quiet. You can have like small conversations, very hush-hush. But unlike America, where everybody's being quiet, and then it gets louder and louder and louder and louder and louder till somebody says shut up, it rarely gets that way in Japan. Everybody's too worried about, you know, their reputation and being polite to one another and being a respectable person, that they keep it hush-hush and talk, you know, very, very, very quiet, or sit on their phones or something like that to not inconvenience people. That's the words. Do not inconvenience people. Even if it inconveniences yourself, don't inconvenience another person. But I mean, I looked up a whole bunch of shit about that shit, and like I said, I'm not in any shape to go over there. It's not gonna happen. I'm not in any shape physically, mentally, or emotionally to undergo that. And I've had friends that have went to Japan and all that, and I've asked them about it, but they generally only went to tourist places. So they never went to actually see, you know, Japan. But anyway, I'm done now. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for all of that other stuff. I don't have anything that pops up subscriptions or anything on there. I just see it on my phone when it comes through. But I do appreciate the subscriptions and all of that you've given me. And I am done for the day. It is 6:49 my time, and I've been here for 2.5 hours when I wasn't planning on going over an hour and a half. Whoops. So you guys enjoy the rest of your night. And I don't know, if you plan on going out of the country, do a little bit of research. Hell, even if you ain't, do a little bit of research. It's so different just stepping out of the American or European or wherever you are, stepping out of your borders and looking at another country. It is so different, which is what gets me interested. Either way, I'm done, and as always, supplement your lifestyle, and I will see you next time. Peace. Also, if you are on next time that I hop online, I am going to be doing a like community casuals where people from the community and all of that can play. So if you're on, it doesn't matter. I have you on both accounts, so it don't matter. But anyway, if you're on, we can do that as well.